All right, let's come to a standing position. Look at your feet, hip width apart, slightly turned in, heels slightly wider than the toes. Remember, you can also do it with the toes, big toes touching, heels apart, your choice. Knees are bent but slightly back, stacked with the heels. Hips are slightly back, lengthening the front, and we're lengthening the back from the tailbone to the base of the head. Thumbs at the base of the rib cage, pinky at the top of the hips. This is our measuring sticks to measure the distance around our waistband to try to lift the torso away from the hips with our breathing. Shoulders way back, elbows way wide, chest is lifting, head is back. Remember, as if you were pulling away from the floor. Head pushing back, not lifting the chin. Breathing here, big breaths into the ribs, expand. Forward, sides, up, away from the hips. Exhale, pull the belly in towards the spine. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, engage abdominals. 3 more like that. One more time. And release. We're gonna go right foot forward, left foot back. Here we're gonna check again that our heels are slightly wider than the toes. Legs slightly in, especially that back leg. Check the back leg, turn it in. Make sure both of your knees are slightly bent. The front knee as far back as possible without locking the knee. Lengthening upper body is the same thing. Thumbs, pinkies, shoulders back, elbows wide, big breaths. Expand, elevate, and engage on the exhales. One more time. Stepping forward to come off it, and stepping the right leg back to do this left side. Again, starting from the feet up, look at your back foot, turn the leg slightly in. Both knees are bent, but the left knee slightly back. Think about your hips as well. Neither hip higher or lower or back behind the other, right? Think about the tucking and the tilting of the pelvis. So finding that three-dimensional squared off alignment, lengthen the front, lengthen the back. Shoulders back, elbows wide, chest up. Chin leveled with the floor. Eyes looking straight over the horizon. One more breath here. And stepping forward. And you can just shake that off. Walk a little bit. Okay, let's try the same thing. This time we're gonna go wider with the legs. So we're gonna go wider with the legs to the side, but still toes in, heels out. Knees slightly bent, knees slightly back, lengthen the front, upper body is the same. We're breathing, and from here, we're gonna practice our hinge. So the hips are gonna go back in space. Remember, we're hinging, not bowing. We're hinging, sending the hips back. Hold them there for a few breaths. Try to keep your chest high, chin level now, not with the floor because then you're cramping the neck, but chin level in relation to your torso. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, hinging forward to come up to standing. Shake that off for a second. And let's do it again. Legs wide, wide. Toes in, heels out. Knees bent, but back. Lift the chest, shoulders back, elbows wide. And we're gonna hinge, the hips are going back in space. We wanna feel the hamstrings, the back of the legs, the glutes, and all these muscles alongside the spine. Breathing. Remember, imagine that floor in front of you and you're pushing away from the floor. Big breaths here. And come back up to standing. Let's go right foot forward again. Left foot back. And on this repetition, same alignment as the first round. We're gonna take our time here to decompress, find our feet, our knees, our hip, three-dimensional alignment, checking all the alignment points. Once we have that in place, we're gonna hinge here. Hips go back and we're loading over the right leg, loading over the right hamstring and the right glute. Hold it there, just hold, and make sure that your hips are going back evenly and that you don't have your left hip kind of coming back and turning your chest to the left. So if you're turning your chest to your left, bring it back, but from the hip, so that your chest and your hip end up still pointing straight forward. Take a few breaths here. And exhale to step forward. And we'll send the right leg back. Check your feet, check your knees, check your hips. Long spine, open chest, shoulders back. Big breaths. Hinge the hips back. Both hips going back at the same time. The hips go back at the same time to avoid that right hip pulling back behind the left. If you find you're turning to the right, again, from the hips, not from the torso, we come back to center. And this is engaging the left hamstring, back of the left leg, left glute. We're gonna breathe here. And with an exhale, step forward. Standing here for a moment, noticing. And you're good to go.